Cool. I hate it as much as you, being on camera.
Rolling.
Car park test.
Can it still suey? Yeah, it can.
There we go. So much more supple now. Feels great. Only standing up.
What's the sag saying now?
It's about 25. I think I'm gonna need to go and get a softer spring. 400 seems too firm.
Even with less preload?
It's a lot better. There's a lot more without the preload. It was roughly, I'm not sure, 18% when we rode yesterday, and now it's like almost 25. That's stood up rolling along on the flat. We really want to be more like 30, over 30 ideally. But fork is still a bit low, it's 190 because the race only spring hasn't arrived yet, it's stuck in the post. Yeah, still feels a bit biased forward, but yeah, we can put a bit more air pressure in and double check all the settings and ride it again tomorrow. Day 2.
Where's the other spring? What was that? Matte black.
Matte black. That's good. Way slower if it's matte. Look how long and heavy it is. We've saved like bare weight there.
So the normal standard spacer, you can't get over that stroke spacer.
Yeah.
Because the diameter of it. So I've designed and made these 3D printed ones that are, they've got like a little dovetail joint in.
That's nice, I like that. Fresh out the printer.
Yeah, literally 2 days ago.
Yeah, this is another reason why you should use a reputable suspension tuner. Make friends with them. Get to know them, keep going back, because we just changed the spring because the existing one we had was too firm, so we can just chuck on one from stock, double check the sag before we pay for it, hopefully. And then yeah, if we wanted to fit that spring as standard and we just ordered it online, it would be too short for the threads on the shock. You wouldn't actually be able to close the locking collar correctly, but Jim has got these custom made spacers. So yeah, chucked one of them on there, and then it spaces, takes up the extra space from having a shorter spring, and then you can just chuck it on your bike and go. Otherwise that would have been
A nightmare.
2-3 more days waiting
Yeah.
for a part to come. So yeah, we'll put it on the bike now.
Now, 19 mil. How much preload did you put on?
No.
None.
Well, very loose.
Yeah. I'd be aiming for 20 mil. So I think.
You got a softer one.
Yeah, we've got 350.
So I'm a big fan of getting your suspension tuned and trying to get the best out of your suspension. It's probably, once you've got the correct bike fit and geometry for the kind of trails you want to ride, suspension is the next thing, and not just buying the best expensive suspension, getting it set up properly. So yeah, in the first video we rode this bike at Crum Woods, and it wasn't bad to start with, but there's a lot more we could improve. So 2 days ago dropped the suspension off with JTech, Jim here, who I've known for
Yeah, a long time.
20 years maybe.
Yeah,
hopefully not 20 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully less. And Jim has stripped the rear shock apart, even though it was almost new, taken it apart, and you've installed the NSR piston kit. We've also changed the spring rate, put a spring spacer on, which Jim's printed, and we've also dropped the NSR damper into the fork. We should have been doing a race only coil spring conversion in the Boxer as well, but that's stuck in the post thanks to Brexit. So the fork's not quite finished, but can you just give us a little overview of what you did?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we brought it in stock. I brought you the upgrade parts, and yeah, just give us a little chat about what you did to it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So on the shock, it did a full strip down. Although it was quite new, there was quite a bit of grit in the wiper seals, so we changed the seals. And then the NSR piston kit is fitted with Nigel's recommended tune for Paul, and his recommended oil too. We've also fitted one of our own mount kits to reduce friction, make it a little bit more sensitive. And then we dyno tested both damper rate, spring rate, and friction levels before and after. So Paul's got all the data on that. On the fork.
Sorry, just go back to your. So this is your custom bushing.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Every time we turn the camera on, there's just ridiculous noises coming from everywhere. But we think that's stopped now. Just go back to your bushing. This is your bushing kit.
Yeah.
This got another train. So this is your bushing kit, which should reduce friction, and that's quite important on a bike like this, where there'll be a lot of rotation at the bushing.
Yeah. It's also quite hard wearing as well. So again, that performance will last. Yeah. Rather than.
And the back end's noticeably more sensitive than when I rode it the first day.
Yeah.
But you said that's going to bed in as well.
Yeah, that will loosen up a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean the friction levels have also dropped in the shock as well, mainly down to the seal change and the different piston glide ring on the NSR piston. Yeah. So that's reduced friction by a significant amount.
Yeah. So. And then similar to the fork.
Yeah, similar on the fork. Again, same before and after tests. The damper was obviously already tuned by Nigel. So from our point of view, we were concentrating on reducing friction in the fork. So first of all, the seals were full of mud and grit, so we've put new seals in. We've resized the bushings and burnished the bushings, so there's plenty of clearance in there, or enough clearance for less friction, shall we say. And it also smooths the surface of the bushing as well, so it will its dynamic friction, if you like, will be a lot less. We've also used an additive in there that we use on all our stuff, which uses Teflon particles that are micro ground and negatively charged. Works great in a lower leg. You'll notice quite a big difference on that.
Yes, science.
We also found a nice big piece of grit wedged in the bushing.
In the bushing itself, yeah, which we've rectified that. Unfortunately, the stanchion is a bit scored, but we don't have one at the moment.
And if anyone's got a spare Boxer stanchion, I need one. There's none in stock anywhere, none are getting delivered, and this one needs replacing essentially already. So I bought a used bike to try and sort of save money, and if you want to get it perfect and you bring it to some experts like JTech, they're going to have a proper look into everything, find these problems where I would have just been riding that and would have caused way more damage.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, like you said, it's sort of beyond repair anyway, but I can ride it a few days with not too much problem, and then
no significant issue.
Try and find one somewhere. So a little bit of chat from Jim, JTech. No sponsorship happening here, no favours. I'm paying Jim full price. I've got to go and put my credit card in the machine in a minute, which I'm not looking forward to.
Might not.
But I highly recommend going to get your suspension tuned for all these little reasons that we talked about. And like we changed the spring, we mentioned earlier, if you're buying your own springs and trying to get the sag correct, you might be ordering them online, getting them delivered, then you check your sag and it's too stiff, where if you go to a tuner, you can take your bike and they can help you get the right product from the start. So it's going to save you money and time, and basically get you to the best setup much more quickly. And someone like Jim works with lots of different types of riders, downhill bikes, enduro, cross country. You do a lot of work with telemetry, so you've got sort of an idea about all these bikes and the riders and the products, how to quickly get someone to the end point.
Definitely,
really.
Well, we deal a lot with people remotely as well, so because we've got all that data, it helps us deal with people. You could be in another country and we can still get a really accurate setup.
Yeah. So yeah, going to go and ride this tomorrow at Revolution Bike Park, and hopefully I'll be happy for once riding down the hill, talking to the GoPro. We'll see. Cheers, Jim. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Paul. Cheers.